Ha! Welcome back to the channel. It's excellent to have you here as always, and thank you for watching. Now, today's going to be a little bit of a departure from some of the stuff that we normally do because, well, as you can see, all I've got to get me through today is a cup of coffee. No script, no nothing. I usually run pretty minimal on the script anyway, so it should be alright. But today's video is not firearms related at all. It's actually a vacation debrief. Vacation being the operative word, which is something that I don't normally do.
That's so cool.
I went out west with a group of friends and I learned a whole lot about myself, and I thought I'd share it with you guys and get some feedback. We did lots of things while we were out there, but the two things that I really wanted to focus on were rock climbing and mountain climbing, which kind of sounded weird the way that I said it like that. I didn't want to use the term hiking or backpacking because people are very particular about how those terms are used. I walked up a mountain.
I can literally get your butt and the squirrel in at the same time.
Awesome.
Rock climbing. I have to say that I've never done legit rock climbing before. I've only ever done the gym stuff, which is not comparable whatsoever. And thank God that he has made me train upper body to the level that I have, because if it wasn't for the upper body strength that I had, I would not have been able to do it, just because I actually have some congenital issues with my feet. My feet just don't work that way. Anyway, sob story, I know, but it was a lot of fun. I did 3 runs. I failed one of them because I just couldn't figure it out. And then the other 2 completed no problem. It was a lot of fun, and 10 out of 10 would do again. Now, there's no sponsor for today's video because that would make absolutely no sense, because this is an off-the-cuff, low production value video that is really just there to solicit feedback from you guys. But if you want to help out, you can go over to the VSO affiliates page, where we have a whole bunch of discount codes and things like that for products that we stand behind. From the use of those codes and affiliate links, a kickback comes back to the channel. We can clean the capitalist grease off this video now and continue on. Now on to the heart of the video that I actually wanted to talk about, which was the hiking side of things. We went on 2 hikes while we were there, a short one and a long one. One was kind of like scenic around the bottom of some lakes and things like that. And then the other one was a mountain. And I can say that I did not do very well in the mountain hike, but I liked it so much. It sucked so bad, but I liked it so much that I'm already planning another trip to go do it again, because it was awesome. To explain what it is that I mean by not doing very well. I live in the state of Ohio, and the highest altitude that you can reach in the state of Ohio is Campbell Hill, and it's about 1,500 feet above sea level, mean sea level. Colorado has a wide range of elevations in it. The place that we landed was Denver, and it's about 5,000 feet above sea level. The place that we stayed in for the majority of the week was at 10,000 feet above sea level, and the top of the mountain is 14,500. We didn't actually make it to the top of the mountain because one of the friends that was in the group is actually a 2-year-old, and we just kind of collectively decided that, you know, taking a 2-year-old to 14,500 feet is relatively irresponsible. So we didn't plan to go to the top of the mountain. We went most of the way up the side of the mountain. Now, I've done mountain skiing and things like that before, but I've never really paid much attention to this sort of thing before, walking up the side of a mountain, how the oxygen content really messes with you. But to give you an example, there was one night I was there, I went on a run with part of the group, and it was just like a mile run, nothing real big, and there was a little tiny hill that you would never even notice if you were in a vehicle of some kind. Maybe if you were in a bicycle, you might notice that you're going up a hill, but you would never have really paid much attention to it if you were in a car. We made it to the top of that hill, and we had to stop and walk, because guys and gals, I was getting winded walking up the stairs. I am not acclimatized to 10,000 feet above sea level. By the time we got up to about the 12.5 level, which is where we kind of turned around, and it was also going to start raining and stuff like that as well, we had ground to a halt. It was one foot after the other. It was pretty challenging to just move any distance, because as soon as you'd get leveled off, you'd get oxygen saturation back in your blood, and then all of a sudden it would just plummet. Like none left. You take like 5 steps and all of a sudden you can't breathe anymore. So that was a pretty unique experience for me. I've never been in that situation before, and I cannot wait to do it again. I have begun training vigorously for my future trip. So long story short, and how do I know that I've been running too long? I'm out of coffee. The purpose of today's video is to really solicit feedback from you guys, because I have very little experience with extended stay backpacking. And I know that there are some backpackers and hikers in this audience. I have seen you. Normally, I'm the person presenting the information, and you people are the people who are consuming it. I want to flip those roles around a little bit. I am all ears. Open that Pandora's box and let some of that stuff run out all over me, because I would really like to be well versed in this area. And I think that as firearms related people, we have a general air of preparedness for things. And this is just an area of expertise that I'm relatively clueless on. So I went out and purchased an Osprey 58 cubic inch. I think they're cubic inches, whatever. Decent backpack. I'm starting to kit it out. And while I do have some items that I have acquired as far as like not only paying for, but I have some sponsored stuff that I'm working with currently, I want to know what works for you guys and what you've used in the past, what you've experienced with what definitely doesn't work, so that I have a good starting place, a good foundation to start from, because I'd also like to produce some content from trips like this, because I think that there's something missing. Because in my estimation, from seeing this stuff that is on the internet from people that do this sort of thing, there are really 2 types of people. There's I'm going to call them the mountain fairy, which is like really skinny dudes that basically that's all they do. You can tell that they don't ever eat any food because they don't have any money, because all they do is climb mountains all the time. Those guys. And then the other side of the equation is like the super duper doomsday prepper dude over there that's got like thousands of pounds of freeze-dried food in his mom's basement, ready for the apocalypse to happen. And, you know, just honestly, most people don't live there. And, man, it's just weird. So I'm looking at it from the guise of a normal person. If you want to go out for a couple days out in the wilderness, what's that look like? You don't need to spend $5,000 on equipment. This is what you use, type thing. And that's kind of, I think, how most people live their lives as far as relation to the outdoors is concerned. And that's kind of the thing that I would like to go after as far as quality of life type stuff when you're out backpacking and hiking for a couple days at a time. So if you're like me and like air conditioning, hit that thumbs up button down below. So really, that was it for my vacation, and I have begun training hardcore for the next one, because to be honest, I broke my hand this past year, and I kind of rapidly got bored with the whole working out thing, as far as like not being able to use my hand, and some of that physical fitness slid a little bit, and now I have something to pour that training back into, and I'm loving it big time. But we will return to regularly scheduled content as usual, because I've got some really cool stuff coming your guys' way in the next couple weeks, including this guy right here, this one. Yes, this one includes all the millimeters. So I'm excited to get back to it, as you guys can see. And I'll see you guys next week. As long as I don't get hit by a car or something like that. That would be bad. But thanks in advance for all the information that you guys are helping me out with down in the comment section down below.